On the 27th of March 2025, we witnessed something that we or every well-meaning human being would ordinarily condemn. The lynching of 16 people. It's nothing to write home about. It is a negative action that should be condemned in every sense of it. But there is a problem. This is an axis that have been crying out to the Nigerian government for help. We have been talking about farmer header clashes, talking about kidnapping, talking about various forms of insecurity, and the government of Nigeria has been tone deaf to their cries. Now, the citizens have taken laws into their hands, wrong as it may be, but this is a failure of the government. Welcome to the Diary of a Broken Man, where we dissect issues like this. Remember to subscribe, to like, to share, and to comment. Now, the lynching of 16 people in Uromi, Edo State, on the 27th of March 2025 was a tragic incident of mob violence that has drawn widespread condemnation. Based on available reports, the victims were said to be hunters, but you all know Nigeria. Anything can be termed anything when the government decides to do something that they have never done before. They can create words. So, but let's leave it at the facts, on ground that they are hunters going for hunting in another man's land. That let's leave that aside, but let's condemn the evil that was done on them, because no human being has the right to take another human being's life. Nobody has that right. Based on available reports, the victims were said to be hunters traveling from River State to Kano for Eid celebration. They were intercepted by vigilantes and a mob, accused of being kidnappers and brutally killed. So we look at the analysis of the causes and the steps to prevent such incidents in the future. This is what we are doing now, is to create a scenario of solution so that similar things will never repeat again. Similar things will not, because the problem in Nigeria is until it gets to you, everybody plays, claps for evil or injustice until it gets to you. So who knows? I cannot say whether they are hunters or they are kidnappers, but the investigation, there should be an independent investigation to show exactly who they are and the necessary things be done for the cause of justice to take effect. We condemn it in general, but something led to it. So we move on. So the cause of the lynching in Uromi. One is rising insecurity and the fear of kidnapping. Now, Uromi and surrounding areas have experienced heightened insecurity, including kidnappers or kidnappings, often attributed to armed groups. The discovery of Dane guns in travelers' possession fueled suspicion that they were criminals, reflecting a broader climate of fear and mistrust among locals. Now, how do you explain to somebody whose sense is working that somebody is traveling with machetes and guns? How do you explain to somebody that I am going for hunting expedition in another man's land without the person knowing it? Sometimes so many things beat my imagination. How we explain away certain things baffle me. In a country of insecurity, and where we have seen how some group of herdsmen, who were somehow allowed to have guns in a country where guns are not allowed, apart from security outfits. And then somehow some individuals who have become sacred cows in Nigeria have guns. And not just that they have guns, We have had record of over 90,000 people since 1999 that have been eliminated by these same people. They enter people's farm, they kill, they rape, they even go as far as burning people's houses, fighting villagers, threatening villagers. And so every sensible individual who has had the similar experience these people had would be worried. When I see you, even with stick, I would be worried, especially when it's from the demography of people who have been known to do similar things. They should be worried. The fact of going to burn them is where the line should be drawn. But they should have been handed over to authorities. Unfortunately, we'll still get to that. We have seen issues of tables turning, where you report issues of insecurity and you become the insecure person. So, kidnapping, that's the number one issue here. Another one is vigilante, overreach, and mob mentality. That's another problem. So, local vigilante groups tasked with community security stopped the travelers' vehicles and raised an alarm. This escalated quickly as a mob gathered acting on unverified assumptions rather than evidence, leading to a violent overreaction. Another thing is lack of trust in law enforcement agencies, as I said before. Communities in Nigeria often resort to jungle justice due to perceived inefficiency or delays in the formal justice system. The failure of authorities to consistently address crime may have driven residents to take matters into their own hands. Another one is poor communication and misinformation. The absence of clear communication between the travelers, the vigilante, and the community likely exacerbated tension. Now, misinformation, labeling the hunters as kidnappers, spread rapidly, inciting the mob without due process. Who knows? But they should have drawn the line. Why killing them? Weak rule of law. Now, the recurring impunity for mob violence in Nigeria has emboldened such acts. When perpetrators face no consequences, it reinforces a cycle where vigilante justice becomes normalized. What are the necessary steps that we can take as a nation to prevent future incidents? What should we do? How do we tackle future incidents? One is to strengthen law enforcement. The presence and the response is necessary because sometimes people even call the police and before the police gets there, everything has happened. We have known or had this kind of negative mentality of the law enforcement because issues in the past have shown that sometimes we can't even trust them. We can't even trust them. That's the level we've descended. So deploy well-equipped police and tactical units to high-risk areas like Uromi to deter vigilante overreach and respond swiftly to incidents. And when there are cases of kidnapping, and the security outfits should show the people their willingness to act. That will give people the confidence to not overreach or overdo. Okay? Another one is public awareness campaign. Educate communities about the danger of mob justice and the importance of due process. Local leaders, media, and the civil society can promote messages that discourage taking the law into one's hands and emphasize reporting suspicion to authorities. But whose authorities? Who are the authorities to be reported to? Enhance vigilante oversight and training. Now, regulate vigilante groups with clear guidelines, training on lawful conduct, and accountability mechanism. They should be required to coordinate with police rather than act independently. reducing the risk of escalations. Another one is swift investigation and the prosecution. Conduct thorough, transparent, and open investigation into mob killings as demanded by groups like Amnesty International, CISLAC, and ensure perpetrators are persecuted. Publicizing convictions can deter future acts like breaking the cycle of impunity. Improve community policing. Build trust through regular engagement, such as town hall meetings to encourage reliance on formal justice system. Establishing accessible reporting channels for suspicious activities can prevent communities from bypassing the authorities. Address root causes of insecurity. Because what is good for the geese is good for the gander. You cannot have this measure of punishment for a particular people. And you remember when in 2016, when the Miss Deborah, the 200 level university of I can't remember the university in the north, that was accused of blasphemy. And under the Constitution of Nigeria, there is no such thing recognized as blasphemy. But she was lynched, stoned to death. And the people who stoned her to death have not seen justice, have not been punished. Some of them, they were openly in this same Nigeria discharged and acquitted. And now, everybody was quiet. You see, what annoys me in Nigeria is the double standardness. The double standard is so annoying, so painful that you look at it and you wonder, are there owners of this country that we call our own? Are there some people that are sacred cows? Are there some people that their own is different, others are treated differently? Because there is no understanding to the fact that this young girl, a university student, was stoned to death, and the people who stoned her to death boldly came to record it, to show the people, even with marches, they showed that they were the people that did it, and they were discharged and acquitted. And to even make it laughable, people who were part of those people who lynched her are now calling for the prosecution of people. Two things can be wrong at the same time, but you see, when you discharge and acquit these people, you give room for further actions like that. If the people who lynched Deborah and the people who butchered the preacher in Abuja back in, I think, 2019 or 2020, if all of them, the culprits, were picked up and punished as deterrents, these kind of actions will not continue. Now, some of them are on Twitter, some of them are on Facebook now crying for justice when they lynched on another person in the name of religion. The last I checked, Nigeria is a secular state, not Christian, not Islamic state. That's the last time I know. Unless Nigeria has become a religious state, we're not practicing theocracy, theodicy or theocracy. What we are doing in Nigeria is a secular state. Everybody has the right of religion. Now, some people are using their own religious law to punish people, and the Nigerian government is sealed up as if everything is all right. The level of irresponsibility in the Nigerian system is so stark and so open, that so glaring that even the blind could see it. Complicit silence. But then when it happens in another place, you see some of those wicked souls, those people who were quiet when it happened, when they enjoyed what happened. All of them will be speaking out. All of them will be posting on Facebook, on Twitter, on different social media platforms, making noise. Some of them will even take to the streets. The double standard. Enact and enforce anti-lynching laws, as seen in states like Manipur and Rajasthan, to provide a legal framework for punishing mob violence. National legislation building on Supreme Court guidelines from the 2017 Tansin Punawale case, could standardize and prevent could standardize prevention efforts. Now, in conclusion, the Uromi lynching stemmed from a mix of insecurity, mistrust, and the systemic failures, culminating in a horrific act of mob violence. Preventing future incidents require a multifaceted approach, like bolstering law enforcement, regulating vigilantes, educating the public, and ensuring justice is served. By addressing both the symptoms and the roots, Nigeria can work towards a society where such tragedies are no longer grim reality. I hope we do so. Tell me in the comment section what you think about the issues of what is happening in Nigeria, the recent insecurity, and the culminating point, which is lynching a whole 16 people, condemnable as it is. Tell me what you think in the comment section, and remember to subscribe, to like, to share, and to comment. This still remains the diary of a broken man, and I will see you on the next one. Cheers.